My name is Peter Bell. I live near Ballarat in Victoria with Stephanie, my partner of 30 years. We have 4 children and 8 grandchildren. I'm a retired CFA employee and still an active volunteer with my local brigade. I was an ALP supporter my entire voting life. Over time, I've grown increasingly disillusioned with the direction the ALP was heading. It seemed to have lost its way. Abandoning the ALP was difficult, but made much easier by the TPP and the metadata sellout. Then, the lack of fighting for Australian workers and Australian jobs was the moment I said enough. I joined the Labor Coalition Party, a young party fighting for the traditional Labor values. TLC has given me the confidence to fight for what I believe in, so I am standing for a Senate vacancy at the next federal election. There is no time to lose, as there is not much of Australia left. Like you, I'm simply an ordinary person, but I'm making a stand because I want to leave a better Australia for the next generations. Should the GST be raised? Should major corporations be allowed to pay no tax in Australia? Should we be sacrificing our food bowl so mining companies can grow richer? Do we need to risk polluting the Great Artesian Basin just to extract gas? The answer to these questions must be an emphatic no. The Parliament of today is prepared to risk it all for profit. The profit of a few multinationals who are handed subsidies to help ruin our land, our farms and our tourist appeal. There is no reason to do these things, and it has to stop. Farmers should have the right to farm, and people should have the right to decide what happens on their land. Telling farmers they must submit to corporate greed on soil that they have worked for years, if not generations, is just not on. There should be no new coal mines in Australia unless they completely self-fund and have no detrimental impact on essential resources such as our pristine aquifers. The world is moving away from fossil fuels and the coal industry is dying. The Australian taxpayer should not be subsidising these industries. We need to start investing in renewable technologies again. Australia needs dams and pipelines so we can move precious water from areas of plenty to drier areas where it is badly needed. We should have high-speed rail to link our capitals and help take the pressure off our long interstate highways. The mining industry is very good at moving mountains. These workers with specialist skills of all types can be re-employed to help build big visionary projects. The longer we delay, the more expensive it gets. We must train Australians to build the railways, the dams, the solar panels, the pipelines, because unemployment will only reduce when you actually give people jobs. We have always looked after each other. That's what's made us great. The superannuation system needs to be revised so people can contribute adequate amounts, but their nest eggs should be government guaranteed, not controlled by private business and subject to loss from bad investments. Planning for retirement takes place over a long period of time. Changing the rules midstream is a betrayal and should not be allowed to happen. Pensioners are not leaners. They are the people who have helped make this country great and deserve to be looked after in their old age. The work for the dole system isn't working. Paying companies large sums to penalise the unemployed needs to cease. Being penalised for not turning up to appointments you didn't even know you had is not acceptable. Yes, we need to get the unemployed back to work, but that is impossible. If there aren't any jobs, employing people on projects that create community or national assets is not a burden on taxpayers. They help build a nation. We haven't had a real nation building project since the Snowy Mountain scheme. Centrelink needs to be properly funded and resourced. 15 hours on hold has to be a record. When they finally got to talk to someone, they couldn't be helped because the computers were down. It's not the staff's fault. The organisation is understaffed and under-equipped. It's not good enough. Our health system is the envy of the world, but the government seems hell-bent on destroying it. Money should not be an issue when you're sick. Education should be available to everyone. Gonski needs to be implemented in full. Then there's the question of who owns land in Australia. Other countries have strict controls, but we seem ready to sell to anyone. Our sovereignty must be protected at all costs. The issues are many, and I will be applying a simple, common sense test. Who does the proposal benefit? The many or the few? Who does it harm? How will it be funded? Can it be amended or improved if it doesn't answer these questions? As a proud Australian, these things have always been important to me. The Senate's role is to ensure that the ruling party doesn't go off track. We need a Senate that is dedicated to the Australian people and not to other governments and the multinationals. Australia has the muscle, the brains and the will to stand on its own feet. But we cannot do it alone. We need you to support TLC wherever we have candidates. And I need your support as your Victorian representative to enter the Senate and fight for the things that really matter. Any questions you may have can be directed via the TLC website, and I thank you for watching.